Following a jury trial, Saifullah Abdul Salam was found guilty of murder of the first degree, robbery, and conspiracy. He was sentenced to death for the first-degree murder conviction. The victim was a peace officer who was killed in the performance of his duties. The story goes that on the morning of August 19, 1994, Salam and Scott Anderson drove toward the town of New Cumberland, Pennsylvania in a borrowed Suzuki Sidekick. First, in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, then outside of New Cumberland, the two men asked for directions. At approximately 10:30 a.m., Salam and Anderson arrived in New Cumberland and parked their car in Maple Alley. The coin shop was a one-room building with storefront windows. Salam knocked on the door to the coin shop and entered. A resident of 4th Street, Mr. Vintran, observed Salam pass him on the street and noted that he knocked on the coin shop door, since few people knocked before entering. Anderson followed and entered the coin shop shortly thereafter, carrying gloves and a bag. Again, Mr. Tran observed Anderson and found remarkable Anderson's heavy clothing on such a warm summer's morning. Once inside the coin shop, Salam asked Mr. Rishal about specific gold coins. Mr. Rishal responded that he did not carry that inventory but suggested another dealer. Salam then pulled a revolver from under his shirt and he and Anderson came across the counter onto Mr. Rishal to subdue him. The front window of the store was broken during this altercation. Mr. Rishal was taped across the face and around his legs, and his hands were tied behind his back with a cord. Salam kicked Mr. Rishal in the head, while Anderson began to go through Mr. Rishal's goods. Immediately upon hearing the breaking of the front window of the coin shop, Mr. Tran alerted his landlord, Mr. James Howie, of the situation. Mr. Howie called 911. Officer Willis Cole of the New Cumberland Police Department ultimately responded to the 911 call. Officer Cole parked his squad car on 4th Street in front of Mr. David Michaels' barbershop, which is on the same side of 4th Street as the coin shop. As Officer Cole approached the coin shop, the perpetrators apparently became aware of his presence and, finding no rear escape, exited the front door. First Salam, then Anderson. Salam was able to escape from the scene. However, Officer Cole intercepted Anderson. Officer Cole ordered Anderson to lie face down and prepared to handcuff him. Mr. Michaels watched as Salam, with his back against a building and revolver drawn, reappeared from Maple Alley as if he had circled part of the block. Salam then sprinted from 523 the alley toward Officer Cole, shooting at Officer Cole as he ran. Officer Cole was able to return fire, hitting Salam in the leg. However, Salam continued shooting. Officer Cole staggered into the middle of 4th Street and collapsed after receiving a bullet through his heart. These events, literally unfolding in front of them, were observed by various witnesses who lived and/or worked in the neighborhood. After receiving a description of the Suzuki and of Appellant and Anderson via police radio, Officer Rodney Smith of the Middlesex Township Police Department spotted and pursued the two individuals outside of Harrisburg. After a high-speed chase, Appellant and Anderson lost control of the Suzuki, which then came to a stop. The men abandoned the car, fleeing on foot. As Appellant exited the vehicle, he looked directly at Officer Smith. Anderson was found several blocks away and was arrested. Shortly thereafter, Appellant was arrested in an alley near the home of his girlfriend, Christina Reeves, while the two were walking her dog. At trial, various witnesses, including Mr. Rishal, Mr. Tran, Mr. Howie, Mr. Michaels, and Officer Smith, testified as to the events surrounding the robbery and the murder of Officer Cole. Among those witnesses, a ballistics expert was able to match the revolver left at the scene with the bullet recovered from Officer Cole's body, and a Pennsylvania State Police officer employed in the latent print and automated fingerprint identification sections of the laboratory division was able to match Salam's fingerprint with the latent fingerprint found in the Suzuki. Salam was arrested as part of the continuing chain of events on the morning of August 19, 1994. Anderson was apprehended after the chase outside of Harrisburg immediately following the shooting. Anderson then led the police to Salam. He was thereafter arrested. However, his arrest was without a warrant. The police filed a complaint with an affidavit writer attached thereto. The rider purported to contain probable cause for the issuance of a warrant of arrest for Salam. However, the affidavit failed to contain most of the information known to the police, and arguably failed to state probable cause.